G'day everyone, Brian here. How do you know what God's will is for your life? Well, Romans chapter 12 verse 2 helps to answer that question. Don't be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, and then you will be able to discern what is God's will, His good, pleasing and perfect will. Wonderful. But what does it all mean? Well, we're not left alone. As we read through the rest of Romans 12, we begin to understand what it means to find God's will and to put it into practice. From verse 3 onwards, we find reference to the body. And so I think it's fair to say here that Romans 12 teaches you really can't be a Christian, or you shouldn't be a Christian on your own. There are people in the world who, because of government regulations or other religious crackdowns or whatever it might be, don't have the opportunity to be a part of a church family. Thank God that they can still find fellowship with Jesus through the Holy Spirit. But that shouldn't be the normal situation. And certainly here in Australia, there are any number of churches that you can be a part of. And if you're in the Heathmont area, we'd love you to come and join us. So be a part of the body. And what do you do when you are a part of that body? You put your gifts into action. You shouldn't be just sitting on a pew wondering if anything's going to happen for you today. You shouldn't just be thinking that the church is there to serve you. What are you doing to serve the church? Through the church to serve your community. And so Paul writes to them and says, God gives gifts. And whichever one you have, put it into practice. If your gift is preaching, then preach. If your gift is serving, then serve. If it's encouraging, then encourage. If it's giving, then give. If it's giving hospitality, then do so cheerfully. Friends, we need people who are doing these things. This is part of God's will for you. And those things that I've listed out there, and you can read them in Romans chapter 12, particularly verses 6 to 8, one of them will relate to you. But more importantly, I think all of them relate to all Christians. For sure, there are some people who are gifted at preaching. Does that mean that you'll never have the opportunity to preach? It might mean you don't get to preach in front of a crowd on a Sunday morning, but you'll have the opportunity to preach with your workmates that I never will. Does it mean that you shouldn't have to give if there are other people who have the gift of giving? Not at all. All people should be giving. What about serving? Does it mean, well, I don't need to do anything because I know those three ladies over there really have the gift of serving and I don't want to take anything away from them? No. You have the ability to serve even in a small way. So do it, and do it for the glory of God. Friends, we belong to a church. We belong to a Christian community. It is there, in the encouragement of others, that we find our faith affirmed and we find our faith challenged. Test the will of God by doing the will of God. And you'll do that well in a community of people. Friends, keep reading Romans chapter 12. It's a great chapter, and as you'll see tomorrow, there's even more to come. God bless you. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.